Greetings. My name is Ron Wotilla. I'm the president of RW Sport Performance Consulting, and today I'd like to share some thoughts with you on this video around the mental performance training platform called MaxU. Ultimately, whether we're a coach or a parent, we're looking for a way to enhance the potential of kids that are involved in sport. And sport's super complicated. There's a lot of layers. I've not encountered a tool that's as effective as the MaxU platform. I've been out in the consulting world for the last 8 years. I haven't had an official partnership with anyone, and this is my first partnership. And I hope that tells you that I really believe in the tool and the impact it can have on young people. A bit of my background: I've been lucky enough to work in sport for the last 35 years as a coach, as a leader, and then most recently in coaching and leadership development, mostly at the Olympic and Paralympic college levels. You can see a group of coaches at the top there that were part of a program I was involved in. I have also done some coaching recently at the club level with a group of young women in the sport of basketball, and then I was just dead lucky in landing a job with the British Olympic team in the run-up to 2012. And you can see our coaches included Nick Nurse with the Raptors and Chris Finch from the Timberwolves. So I've been very fortunate, and I've seen, I've worked at pretty much every level of sport. Any of us that are getting involved in youth sport are doing it for the kids. We care about them. We want to create the very best environment for them. There's just no denying it, but it's complicated. And there's a lot of moving parts, and I think it's getting more complicated as time goes on. The stakes are getting higher. If I just said high level, like what's the one thing that I could get out of my commitment to MaxU that would really make a difference? In my mind, it's this. It's my experience that the stronger the alignment between athletes, parents, and coaches, whether we're talking 12 years old or 18 or 24, well, not as much 24 with the parents, but the stronger that alignment is, the better the experience is for the athlete. The more that these people are on the same page, the more likely the athlete experience is going to be better. So let's just kind of keep that in mind as we go through it. So what is MaxU? Well, ultimately, it's a profiling exercise where an athlete 12 years of age or older answers a few questions online, and out pops a profile that tells a story about how they engage with the world through sport. So what you're seeing here is a snapshot of a particular insight, as it's called, the high-level snapshot of this particular athlete, and based on how they answered the questions, what their story is. I mean, what are their superpowers? What are their gaps? What are their trends? A whole assortment of things. There's the deeper breakdown is across 5 different pillars: temperament, agreeableness, conscientiousness, extroversion, and openness. And in each of those pillars, there's a bit more depth for the athlete, the coach, and the parent to have a look at. Maybe most importantly are the resources. Is that when an athlete goes through the MaxU experience and they get their profile, their profile will link to a series of specific resources for them to consider that fit with their profile. And these are all vetted by psychologists, so super safe and practical and easy to digest and easy to take on. So super well designed platform, easy to manage, and the information is super powerful for all 3 of the groups in the triangle. What will the athletes get out of this? Like, what is it that they will specifically get? What are the 3 groups going to get? Well, the athletes will ultimately develop mental performance skills. They'll have a better ability to deal with conflict. They may be more aware of their introversion trends or their extroversion trends. So just like developing dribbling skills or shooting skills or spiking skills in volleyball, they would be developing mental performance skills. For the coaches, they're going to feel more empowered. They're going to have more information. And that's really what we want to provide coaches. Coaching is incredibly complicated. I think we underestimate how complicated it is. And so the more information we can give them, the more empowered they'll feel. I know for me, going back to my time with that group of young women, if I had access to MaxU, I would be a much better coach for them. I would have served them better. and they would have had a better experience. That's the bottom line. I just would have had more insight into what they needed in the moments throughout a particular season over the course of the couple of years that I happened to coach them. For the parents, it's a greater understanding of your child's story, how they look at the world, the impact that has on how they engage in their sport, is what you would be getting specifically from the MaxU connection. And this is certainly an exaggeration, although I had my parenting moments, as I think we all do. But we want to avoid these moments. We don't want to be put to the point where we lose the plot and we go below the line, as some people say. So greater understanding certainly helps a ton. MaxU provides a greater understanding for parents. And then what are the outcomes? What will we actually see if we were to commit to MaxU for a year, for example? Well, in my mind, you would see athletes who have greater confidence and are experiencing more joy. Their confidence comes from just being more aware of their story and what to do with some of the things that make them feel off or not great or what they're scared of. And also to really lean into those things that are naturally their superpowers. So that would be what I think you'd see at the back end of a year with MaxU. For coaches, you're going to enhance their confidence. Coaches are not as confident as they appear. Bottom line, it's a complicated job, but it's not the thing to do to show vulnerability as a coach. There's so many layers to coaching, whether you're coaching 12-year-old girls ice hockey or you're coaching at the college level. So the confidence will just go up because they'll have access to more information, and that'll allow them to have greater impact. Because as their confidence goes up, they'll for sure be able to impact the experience for young people to a greater degree. Sustainability. Parents need to play the long game. Having had 2 kids make their way through U Sports and play post-secondary, I think the more often I looked at the long game, the better off it was for me and them, and not focus on the moment. So I think MaxU would be a real gift to parents to have a better understanding of what the journey looks like and how it is going to take time for their son or daughter to work their way through something that's maybe a challenge for them. And for you, in considering MaxU, you may be looking at it from digging into it from an individual perspective, signing up yourself. And if you do that, then you would be managing the registration and getting the access to the information and looking at it with your son or daughter. But if you're doing it as part of a club or a school, the team might be managing it, but you'd still get the same access to the information. It's just that you might not be the administrator of the exercise. If you want more information about the platform, here's the website. If you have any questions at all, just fire me a note. My email is right here. I hope you strongly consider leaning into becoming a part of the MaxU world and taking advantage of the platform. Have a great day.